The war began with whispers. We had always known the Veyari were watching us. Shadows flickering on the edges of our colonies, glimpses of massive vessels drifting like predators just beyond the edge of sensor range. But no one expected them to strike so soon, or with such merciless precision. I was a soldier, but barely one by choice. Earth's outer colonies demanded conscription. If you wanted to work in mining, farming, or even basic trade, you served at least 3 years in the Defense Corps. I'd been stationed on the frontier world of Halloran, a windswept desert with twin suns that never seemed to set. That's where the Veyari came. They fell upon our defense outposts with fire that melted steel and shrieked through the skies like banshees. Our plasma rifles were little more than toys against their shimmering armor. I fought in the trenches, sand burning beneath my boots, watching comrades fall like scattered grains in the storm. And then I was captured. The blast had thrown me back against the scorched hull of a half-destroyed transport. My head rang, my vision blurred, and when I tried to rise, a shadow loomed over me. She was taller than any human, her form encased in obsidian armor that seemed to drink the light. Her eyes glowed with a deep, impossible violet. She was the alienqueen, commander of the Veyari host. She pressed a blade of light against my throat. One flick and I would have joined the countless dead littering the battlefield. But then her gaze shifted, caught by the glint of something at my chest. My necklace. It was nothing more than a simple pendant, an old piece of earth jewelry I had inherited from my grandmother. A small carved stone etched with a spiral pattern. To me it was only a keepsake. To her it was something else entirely. She froze, the blade trembling in her grip. Her eyes widened, glowing brighter. And then, impossibly, she lowered her weapon. "Where did you get this?" she demanded in a voice that resonated like thunder wrapped in silk. I couldn't answer at first. My mouth was dry, my heart hammering. I stammered something about family, about Earth, about how it had been passed down for generations. The Queen's expression shifted from rage to something far stranger. Fear, awe, maybe both. She turned to her soldiers and barked something in their alien tongue. They hesitated, stunned, before obeying. The battle stopped. Just like that. The war paused because of the stone at my chest. Middle. I was taken alive, but not as a prisoner in chains. The Veyari escorted me to their flagship, an enormous living structure that pulsed as though it breathed. The corridors glowed with bioluminescent veins, and the air hummed faintly with energy. The Queen herself led me, her armor dissolving into strands of liquid shadow as she revealed a figure both terrifying and majestic. Her skin shimmered like polished obsidian, her hair a cascade of silvery threads. She introduced herself, not in words exactly, but in concepts that pressed into my mind. Her name was unpronounceable to human tongues, but I understood her as Zythera, Queen of the Shattered Stars. She did not speak again of my necklace until we reached her private chamber. It was a cavernous hall filled with crystalline growths, each one pulsing faintly with memories of battles, voices, and echoes. She gestured for me to sit upon a platform of living light. "This symbol," she said at last, pointing to the spiral pendant. "Do you know what it means?" I shook my head. "It's just a family heirloom. Nothing more." Her expression darkened. "It is not nothing. It is the sigil of the first covenant. The mark of the ones who bound my people to yours long before your kind could walk upright." Her words struck me like a blow. My grandmother had always said the necklace came from before the stars belonged to men, but I'd thought it just a romantic phrase, a myth. Could it be real? Zythera studied me with unblinking intensity. "If you carry it, then your bloodline is tied to ours. You are forbidden prey." Forbidden prey. Echoed. It means, she said slowly, that to kill you would awaken oaths carved into the fabric of time. Oaths my people have feared for millennia. I tried to laugh it off, but her gaze silenced me. I was no longer just a soldier. Somehow, I had become the key to ending or reigniting this war. Days turned into weeks aboard the flagship. Instead of imprisonment, I found myself in constant dialogue with the Queen. She demanded I recount Earth's histories, myths, and wars. She asked about our religions, our songs, even our foolish superstitions. Sometimes her questions were cutting, other times almost wistful, as though she sought something long lost. In return, she revealed pieces of the Veyari story. They had once been a people of builders, not conquerors. But a great betrayal shattered their unity, driving them to endless war to reclaim what had been stolen. The spiral, the symbol on my necklace, was at the heart of it. One night, beneath the glowing crystal canopy of her chamber, I dared to ask, "Why stop the war? Even if my necklace matters, your armies are stronger. You could destroy us anyway." Her eyes softened, glowing faint blue. "Because destruction is not victory. I have waged 1,000 battles, burned 1,000 worlds. None of it fills the silence. Perhaps your kind, bound by the old covenant, carry what we lost." In that moment, I saw not just a queen, but a weary soul burdened by centuries of blood. But outside her chamber, the war still simmered. Her generals were furious. They saw me as a weakness, a human trinket distracting their queen. Whispers of mutiny spread. I could feel the storm building. And then it came. Ending. The uprising struck during the crossing of veils, a sacred Veyari ritual I barely understood. Generals loyal to conquest stormed the flagship, demanding my execution to reignite the war. Zythera stood between them and me, her obsidian blade drawn. "You would defy the covenant," she thundered. "He is nothing," one general roared. "A fragile ape unworthy of our reverence." The chamber erupted in chaos. Soldiers clashed, crystal walls shattered, and the air filled with the hiss of plasma and the crackle of Veyari weapons. I should have run, but something inside me refused. Instead, I tore the necklace from my chest and held it high. "Enough!" shouted. My voice, tiny against the storm, somehow carried. The pendant flared with light, not just reflection, but a glow of its own, pulsing like a heartbeat. The fighting froze. Even Zythera staggered back. Visions flooded the chamber. Ancient figures of both human and Veyari standing side by side, forging bonds beneath a spiral sun. Voices echoed, "We are two yet one. Bound by stars, sworn to share the void." The pendant's light faded, leaving silence. Every soldier knelt. Even the rebellious generals bowed their heads. The queen approached me slowly, her gaze filled with something I had not seen before. Hope. "It is true," she whispered. "The covenant lives in you." From that day the war ended. Not with treaties signed by trembling diplomats, not with surrender forced by superior firepower, but with the reawakening of an ancient bond. The Veyari withdrew their fleets, not as conquerors, but as kin rediscovering long-lost family. And me. I became a symbol I never asked to be. Humans called me the keeper of the spiral. The Veyari named me Echo of the Covenant. But titles meant little. What mattered was that billions lived who would have otherwise died.